And today we want to talk about something a little bit different than what I usually talk about. I usually talk about Netflix games on this channel, but today I want to talk about Netflix books and whether or not we see books added to Netflix games. Now, so not Netflix games, Netflix books. We see Netflix add books and comics to Netflix, right? Sorry. So what do we have here? So to begin with, Netflix already has got books based on Stranger Things. You know, we also have books in the Roald Dahl estate that they acquired back in 2021. They also own the Millarworld assets they acquired back in 2017. So they do have a large library of stuff they could do. Netflix should also expand their portfolio of, you know, books and comics and whatnot by making some acquisitions. They could obviously acquire stuff like Doctor Seuss Enterprises. They could acquire IDW Comics, who seems to be struggling quite a lot at the minute. But they're just some notable names that they could do. Will we see Netflix do this? I don't know, but because we're in a position with streaming services now, every streaming service needs to diversify what they offer. Their content library needs to be more than just film and TV. Because, fun fact, people are getting bored. People are getting bored of paying all this money for these subscription services, and they all offer the same thing or something similar. So people want companies like Netflix to obviously offer, you know, stuff outside of film and TV. They want people to get, you know, stuff outside of the traditional Stranger Things movie or TV show, and the best way for them to do it is to obviously just, you know, spend the money and acquire some stuff and add some more content to the app. Now, I will say Netflix isn't an app that's built for comics or books, so if Netflix does decide to obviously add such features, they would obviously have to add them via another app. They'd have to do similar to what they've done with Netflix games, where you can download the app via the App Store through Netflix. That would be the best way for them to do it, in my opinion. But I don't see Netflix really. I don't really see Netflix focusing too much on that. Now, whether or not, you know, Netflix should obviously add books or comics, I don't know. But I do got to admit, if Netflix does add such features, they would need to make sure it's, you know, available for everyone, you know, from all backgrounds, whether they be deaf, blind, you know, well-bodied, you know. You got to factor in people who are disabled, because obviously people with disabilities are people too. So what they would have to do is, obviously, in my opinion, they'd have to do motion comics and audiobooks as well. Because, first of all, there was all the audiobooks of all the Roald Dahl stuff, you know, quite simply. It's been around for decades. There's all audiobooks for it. There's obviously motion comics for it, I believe, as well. And the Roald Dahl art style would lead itself really well to a motion book. Motion comics as well would be great for Millarworld, especially because Millarworld's IPs aren't as well known as something like Roald Dahl's are, so that'd be a huge way to, like, increase interest. Plus, you can argue that Netflix would actually benefit from such things. Obviously, then people might be interested in going and buying the books, or they'll hear about, or they'll read the comic or whatever on Netflix, and then be like, oh, okay, and then they'll see the show, and it's cross pollination. You introduce new fans to the property via doing this, and obviously, people will check out the shows and the movies and buy the merchandise, and everyone wins, or at least Netflix wins. So, what do I think? Do I think Netflix is going to win, or do I think Netflix should do this? I do. I think if Netflix can afford to do it, they should experiment. Whether or not they'll do it, though, I don't know. I'm not an investor in Netflix. I don't have any control over Netflix. I won't be able to, like, stop them from doing something if I don't agree with it, or if I think they should do something. I don't think I can't convince them to do it. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Also, side note, I want to say, this video's coming out the day after I did my podcast with Ninja Guy X, so if you want to check that out, there'll be a link to the episode, the VOD on the description. Check that out. I've been Ethan X Gamer, and I'm signing out. Peace.